Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Melinda and I post about literally anything and everything that I'm currently passionate about. So lately I've noticed a couple of comments pop up on this video that I made in 2018. If you guys haven't watched it yet, it is literally a video that I made 3 months into being a first year, and it's called 10 Things to Expect at Uni. As if I knew at that time. I was still figuring things out. But anyway, I decided that I wanted to make an updated version of that video because obviously as a third year right now, I have a completely different stance on that and a completely different approach to uni. It has since shifted and morphed into a few different things. But I can honestly say this past year has been amazing. I've had amazing people in my life, amazing experiences, and I just wanted to share a couple of things that I've kept in mind throughout this year to ensure that I've sustained that experience for myself. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get into the video and we'll get into all of the tips and tricks that I have for you guys, and most importantly advice, I feel, because university can be pretty daunting, especially if you're an international student and you're moving away from home, moving away from your country like I did. And yeah, I hope that this video does end up giving you some help and some guidance in how to navigate a new country, a new academic environment, a new social environment especially. So yeah, let's just get started, shall we? If you see me turn this way, it's because I have made some notes on the subject matter. I wanted to structure it in a way that you guys can easily refer back to the advice that I outlined for you guys, because I find that personally for me, when I study or when I want to remember something, I think I need to have some keywords I think about. So when I was thinking about making this video, I thought to really structure it in a way that all of the advice I give just kind of revolves around 3 main pillars, and that is community, cultivate, and challenge. So I'm gonna get a little bit deeper into each of those pillars as the video progresses and as I talk about all the points that I have. But yeah, I just want you to remember those 3 words. I repeat, take a notepad if you have it, take your phone, write it down. Community, cultivate, challenge. All right, so let's just get started. So community. I've personally found that, well, actually this is true for no matter what phase you are in your life, and that is that your network is your net worth. The community that you surround yourself with is going to be a reflection of who you are in most ways, actually, because as humans we are pack animals and we thrive best in a pack and in a group, and it's quite inevitable for us to rub off on each other. So your community is definitely so important. You need to have people who have aligned values with you and who are ultimately going to be there for your low moments. And yeah, especially if you're an international student, you're bound to have moments where you're either homesick or you're really overwhelmed with all of these like new things. Situations can be stressful, relationships can be tense, and it's really important to have a solid community around you. And which brings me to my first point. I think it's really important, and I've mentioned this in my last video, to recognize that relationships, not all are meant to last. Your first friend group is most likely not going to be your last friend group going out of uni. Of course, you need to keep in mind that you don't want to burn any bridges, because one of the things that one of my lecturers said in a lecture, advertising lecture that I went to last semester, was that you need to start thinking about your classmates as potential business partners in the future. So you don't want to burn any bridges, you don't want to make unnecessary drama and like have enemies. Like they say, one enemy is one enemy too many. You just want to recognize that relationships come and go, people come and go, and it's completely alright. I would personally recommend, and this is what I started really doing this year, is to focus on you and eventually and build relationships quite intentionally. Like, some people are going to be for you and some people aren't going to be for you, and it's completely fine. It's not a matter of you're a bad or good person. Sometimes it's just a matter of compatibility, and sometimes the way that someone communicates is not necessarily compatible to how you communicate, or the way that somebody approaches relationships is not necessarily compatible to how you approach relationships, and that's completely fine. I think the biggest thing that I had to learn this year is just to let things go. Focus on really building yourself up and growing from any setbacks, and eventually your vibe will track your tribe. Personally what I did, oh sorry, the lighting has changed. Personally what I did was that I started, when I realized that what I really wanted to do was marketing, I started joining a marketing club, and through that club I managed to meet some pretty badass chicks, like to name a few. Big shout out, I guess, not that they're watching. To name a few, there's definitely Fran, fucking love her, like honestly I wish that we got to know each other sooner. There's Fran, there's Eva, there's Steph, there's Rebecca, there's Madison, there's Karen. Fuck, if I miss anybody that would be so bad, but yeah, I really appreciate those girls. Did I mention Jeannie? Fucking love Jeannie, like Jeannie's so amazing. So yeah, focus on you, focus on building your circle of friends with intention. Yeah, and also making friends with people who have the same like career goals, are heading the same like direction professionally as you, would be very good in terms of finding, yeah, that sense of accountability when it comes to your courses. Working with somebody outside of a class environment in like a club setting and having them in your classes will push you to like attend classes. Uni, that's definitely a thing that I noticed that everyone struggles with, which is to attend classes physically. Obviously we can't really do that now due to the current world situation, but yeah, it's just really good to have friends that are outside of the class environment but also in that class environment, because you just want people who would continue to push you on days that you can't be effed to push yourself. That's one. Moving on to my second one. My second tip revolves around cultivation, the idea of cultivation, and I really started to see my time as being really valuable this year. Of course, like we all know, like time is valuable, time is money, like those phrases, but honestly your time is everything, especially during this time. Like this is the time for you to really make the most out of your life. You're in your 20s, and it's just a phase of life where you're just meant to hustle and you're just meant to try things, experiment, and but also do so with intention. I think intention is the biggest word that I've revolved my life around this year. Focus your time on things that contribute to where you're heading. For instance, even with jobs that I've taken this year, and I've taken a few jobs, I've been fortunate enough to know people who want to pay me to expand my skill set as a marketer, and yeah, that's really fortunate, and I just feel like I've been so inspired by them, honestly. I feel like it's really important to also have a life beyond uni that's gonna pay off in the long run as you make that transition from uni to working life, because that's something that people honestly struggle with a lot. Yeah, having that foresight to build relationship outside of your classes, and it can be the simplest of things, honestly, because like I currently work for this Pilates studio. I do their marketing, and initially it was just a place that I went once a week to just get my Pilates on, you know, and it was amazing. As long as like something that you're spending time on is serving you in some way, whether it be mentally or keeping you mentally or physically strong, or whether it's like a good relationship to build on for a potential internship in the future, you know what I mean? Like, do things with intention. I think that's the biggest thing that I would say. Yeah, with people, you want to actively build your professional network even when you're a first year at uni. One of the clubs that I think does really well in this is Women in Business, for me, basically for me. Like if you're a girl and or if you identify as female, one of the clubs that I find really helps students do this is the Women in Business Club. And also the university that I currently go to has a women mentorship program, which yeah, you basically get assigned a mentor and somebody who coaches you. And I've never done it personally. I'm just going to be completely transparent with that, but I know a few people who have gotten a lot of value out of it, so I would highly recommend that. And yeah, I feel like mentors are such an important thing no matter where you are at in your life. Relationships like that really propel you to be better and really build you as a person and really force you to learn more and really force you to step beyond your comfort zone. Sorry, a plane distracted me.